it's Amanda, long time no see. I think it's been over a week since I've posted a video, and I've just gotten so used to doing like 1 or 2 videos a week. I feel like it's been a while since I've been on YouTube, so it's nice to be back after the holidays. Definitely took a little time off, just not even thinking about YouTube for a week or so, just focusing on the holidays. We had so much to do, and then just enjoying Christmas and everything. So anyway, but I'm back now. So I was tagged on Christmas Eve by Jessica from Family Days, and I know that this is like a few days after Christmas, but I thought, what the heck, I'll still do it anyway. Try and get it done before New Year's. We're still in the end of December, so why not? There are 17 questions, and let's get started on them. Number 1 is, what is your favorite thing about Christmas? And I'm going to say hands down, just being with family, just spending that quality time together. I think that is one of my highest love languages, is quality time. So just spending that time with the people I love, and I just absolutely love it. You know, eating the good food and just being together, you know, like watching Christmas movies, playing games, just being together. I just cherish that time so much. It's always been that way since I've been a kid. So absolutely just being with family. I've mentioned in some of my videos before that a lot of my family lives in Portland and we live in the Seattle area. And for my entire childhood, I only spent 1 Christmas at home. And the rest of the time we were down in Portland visiting all of the family there. So in all of those years, you know, there was just like one time, I think I was like, you know, 15 years old or something like that. I told my parents, we've never ever been home for Christmas. I just want to be home for Christmas. And so we stayed home for Christmas that year. And but then we went down to Portland like after Christmas or something. And I remember feeling on that one Christmas when it was just me and my parents, and I'm like, well, it's nice that we're not traveling, but I really miss just being with all the family. Like, and I really, you know, had this like true realization, you know, in my youth that I was like, oh, that's what it's really all about, is just being with the family. Number 2 is, what is your least favorite thing? Hands down for that would be all of the materialism. The Christmas holiday has become so incredibly commercialized, and that for a very long time has gotten under my skin. My absolute rock bottom lowest love language is gifts. Like, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible gift giver. I'll put that out there. It's always been stressful for me since I was a kid, you know, just like trying to find a gift for someone. You just have no idea what to get them. It doesn't feel sincere. Usually the gifts that I like to give is like when I come across something randomly in the year, you know, something that makes me think of a person that's like meaningful to them, or, you know, something that has purpose behind it. You know, it's not just a random thing. And, you know, those are the gifts that I like the best. You know, something that, you know, or is handmade, something that had love put into it. Those have always been the most meaningful gifts for me. But just giving gifts just because it's the social expectation has always been so hard for me, because I'm just so bad at it, and I just don't value material stuff that much. And my parents are actually, they have the same attitude as I do. So actually in the last few years, since I'm an adult now, we're like, why don't we just not give gifts anymore? We'll give experiences. We'll go out to dinner. We'll go, you know, to a movie together. We'll all, you know, do something where we're spending time together. So that's what I do with my side of the family. And on Bill's side of the family, we do give gifts, but we're very intentional about trying to give gifts that are practical. So, you know, it's usually not a surprise that we say, what do you want for Christmas? And we, you know, give people what they want for Christmas. And so I actually like that too, when it's like gifts that, you know, are intentional and something that you need. So I've been pretty happy with how we've been dealing with the whole gift giving thing for Christmas. I saw this meme on Facebook a couple years back. Yeah, that's pretty much my attitude about why the whole materialistic aspect of Christmas is not so much my thing. Number 3 is, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Okay, I can't choose just one because I have a number of them. When I was a kid, my absolute favorite Christmas movie was Miracle on 34th Street. I really liked the old one, and I liked the new one too, because that one came out in the 90s when I was a kid. And so I loved then and still love both of those movies, and just that they're, you know, about the whole Santa Claus thing. I thought that it was just like a really good metaphor for God. That's what they're doing in the story, is kind of like drawing that parallel, how, you know, Santa Claus isn't God, but, you know, is kind of like a symbol for God, you know. It's like, and faith, and just trusting trusting in something that's bigger than yourself. Other Christmas movies I like are It's a Wonderful Life. I just love that story. I think it's such a beautiful little story. Then on the more humorous side of things, I've always loved Home Alone. Classic, so funny. And more recently, I hadn't even seen it until I met Bill, but National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, oh my gosh, it is hilarious. We actually watched it last night, and I had forgotten some of the details of that movie, and like seriously, I was in stitches. Like I could barely catch my breath. I was laughing so hard. So if you haven't seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, go watch it because it is just so freaking hilarious. Number 4 is, has it ever snowed on Christmas where you live? In my lifetime, it has only snowed on Christmas once. And that was when Bill and I were still dating. So I think it was like 2008, 2009, something like that. It was like a year or two before we got married. And it snowed that year, and we had a couple inches, and we took pictures of it and documented it because it was like this amazing spectacular thing that I had never experienced before. Was a white Christmas, because we live in the Pacific Northwest and normally we have a rainy Christmas. Number 5 is, what is your favorite Christmas song? I absolutely love the song Oh Holy Night, just because I feel like that captures truly the true meaning of Christmas. And a couple of the verses in that song, just, I feel like it just is the essence of who Jesus was and what his message was. Truly, he taught us to love one another. His law is love and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. And that, to me, just sums up why Jesus is so important right there. So that is my absolute favorite Christmas carol. Number 6 is, what is your most memorable childhood Christmas memory? Oh boy, I don't know if we ever did anything that was like, that particularly stands out, but I just have such a good feeling when I think back on Christmas, because we always spent Christmas Eve with my dad's side of the family and then Christmas Day with my mom's side of the family and my grandparents on those sides. And I just have such good memories of, you know, there would be Christmas music playing, sitting around the Christmas tree, we're all together playing games, opening gifts. Like, it's nothing that's like extraordinary or spectacular, but that feeling, the songs, the lights, just the togetherness. So that time we spend together, it has always been a really peaceful, loving, enjoyable time. And I'm thankful for that, because I know that, you know, the holidays can be really stressful for a lot of people. I recognize, especially as an adult now, just how precious that is. And so that's definitely my best Christmas memory. Tradition do you look forward to the most? When I was a kid, I was the only child around. I was an only kid. I didn't have any siblings. I have 2 cousins on each side, so we're a really small family, and we didn't spend Christmas Day with that side of the family. So I was always the kid, and then there were all the adults. So me being the kid, I always got to play Santa. I had these special Christmas toe socks, which I still have, and I wore them on Christmas this year still. I still have them and I love them. And I would be the one that passed out the gifts to everyone. That was such a fun tradition when I was a kid. But as for new traditions, now that I have my own family, I have started a couple of new traditions with my kids. My favorite one that I've done, I actually started it when Alex was first born. His first Christmas is for all of the month of December. Right before bedtime, we light a candle and we sing a Christmas song together. It's really simple. And, you know, we turn out all the lights and just have the candle and we sing our Christmas song together. And I'm so glad that I've continued doing that. And this year, Alex has loved it. Now he can't wait to blow out the candle. That's like the most exciting part for him right now. So yeah, I think that's a tradition that I have created now that I'm really looking forward to continuing now in the future as well. So number 8 is, when do you decorate for the holidays? Let's be honest, I am a procrastinator, so usually it happens mid-December sometimes. You know, it's usually not the very last minute, but we're also not like jumping on it the day after Thanksgiving either. Number 9, which is your tree real or fake? You know, in the past, because like I mentioned before, we were always out of town when I was a kid growing up, so my parents always just had a fake tree when I was growing up. And, you know, same tree that they had, since the 70s when they got married. And so it was a really old thing, but I loved it. I didn't care, either way. I thought it was so much fun, going up in the attic and pulling down the Christmas tree box and all the decorations and everything. And so I grew up mostly with a fake tree. There were a few years now and then when we actually did get a real tree, but for the most part it was the little fake tree that lasted all of my childhood. Then when Bill and I got married, on our wedding day, symbolically we planted a seed together. We literally had a Christmas tree seed, and we planted it on our wedding day. And then, so funny side story about that is we actually lost that pot that had the seeds in it, and so we're like, oh gosh, is this a bad omen for our marriage? And so, but now I'm like, this is like a realistic thing about marriage, right? Sometimes there are difficult things that come along or unexpected things, and you just kind of roll with the punches and you learn how to be adaptable together as a couple, right? Since we couldn't find the seeds to our little tree that we had planted on our wedding, we went to a nursery and we bought a tree. Actually, I think the very first year we were married, we went and cut our own tree. And then the years after that, we went and got a living tree. So for 3 years, we had a living Christmas tree. So something that we just kept outside year round, and then, brought the pot in for a few days around Christmas time. And now that we are living in our forever house, we moved into this house last year, we finally decided to plant that tree outside. So this year, since we have a toddler and a baby, and we didn't want to have all the needles, and Sophie is just so mobile right now and pulling up on things and getting into things and pulling things off, I was like, we're not going to have a regular tree because that would just be insane with a 9-month-old. And so we decided to just get a little fake tree this year, and we just put it up on top of, we have a little pellet stove in the corner of our living room, so we just put it on top of that and called it good because it's way up high. She can't reach it there. He knows pretty well not to touch it now. So this year is a fake tree. I'm hoping in the next year or two, once our kids are old enough to not get into the tree, that we will start a tradition of going as a family to cut our own Christmas tree. Number 10 is, what is your all-time favorite holiday dish that is not a dessert? Ham. I love ham. My mother-in-law makes an amazing ham, and she's, she eats pretty similar to the way we do. She's always very good to get a ham that's like organic, antibiotic-free, hormone-free, all that kind of thing. She gets it at the natural food store. We have clear consciences when we're eating our ham at Christmas, and I love it. It is just, I love ham. Number 11 is, what is your all-time favorite holiday dessert? I think on my side of the family, my aunt has always made these lemon bars every year, and they are to die for. They are so good. And I think that's my favorite Christmas cookie that we have at Christmas time. And then on Bill's side, his mom makes, she has a Swedish heritage, and so she makes saffron bread every year. It's like a slightly sweet bread with saffron in it, so it's like a yellow bread, and it has a really unique flavor, and I love it. It is so yummy. So that's one of my new favorites now. Number 12 is go-to gift for the hard to shop for. Like I said before, that's one of the things I really dislike the most about Christmas, is like trying to shop for people who don't really want gifts anyway. I guess I would just say giving experiences, since the hard to shop for, I'm probably one of those people myself. But just, giving an experience, like tickets to something, or just, taking somebody out to lunch or dinner or whatever. Number 13 is, what is the best Christmas gift you've ever received? So the most meaningful thing I'm going to say is getting married and having kids and spending time with my husband and my kids on Christmas, having a family of my own for Christmas. That has been the greatest Christmas gift ever. Number 14 is wrapping paper or gift bags. It really depends on what it is. If there's something that's like a nicely shaped box that's really easy to wrap in paper, I'll go ahead and wrap it in paper. But it's something that's like really difficult to wrap, or I procrastinated to the last minute or whatever, it's like, it's going in a gift bag. 15 is hot cocoa or eggnog. I am an eggnog person. I do like hot cocoa, but I really love eggnog, and that's something we only drink right around the holidays. And there's actually a local dairy. You guys know that we like to drink raw milk. but there is a local dairy. It's not raw, but it's like the next best thing. It's like low temperature pasteurized, and it's like made with like real milk from grass-fed cows, local. They make this eggnog themselves, and they put in like all the spices. There's no additives in it, no carrageenan, anything like that. And it is the most amazing eggnog I have ever tasted. It comes in a little glass bottle, and oh my gosh, it is so good. And I have been putting it in my coffee. I got like 3 of the little quarts of it to last us for the week or 2 around Christmas, and I've been putting it in my coffee in the mornings, and oh my god, eggnog latte is to die for. Last year on YouTube, I actually had a recipe for how to make my eggnog latte, and so I will link that video down below if you're interested in seeing that. Number 16 is who do you spend the holidays with? Already answered that. Spend it, you know, in the past it's been with my family in Oregon, but now that my grandpa is gone, this year we started a new tradition of just having my parents and Bill's mom and brother over for Christmas Day and having just all of us be together, and then a few days later Bill's dad and stepmom come over. That's who we spend the holidays with. Number 17, do you make New Year's resolutions? Not really, not anymore. I have in the past, but just like everyone else, I never kept them, so I'm like, what's the point? But that said, I do make goals for myself, and I don't just make goals for myself one time of the year. Like, I don't always just do it at New Year's. I do usually set goals around New Year's, but you know, I feel like this isn't like a one-time thing. It's more like having a mindset of setting goals, like realistic goals for yourself and striving towards them, but also giving yourself grace if you don't achieve them perfectly. Like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? And so I feel like that's my new perspective on New Year's resolutions. I don't set, you know, like, I'm going to lose this much weight by this date, or I'm not going to give up this or give up that. It's more like, I have, you know, goals for my health, or goals for my kids, or, you know, goals for my marriage, goals for YouTube, that I set, and I will often write them down, and, you know, I'll just like make a to-do list basically of the things that I want to accomplish, and just kind of get through it as I can get through it and do the best I can. And if I don't get to all of it, then it's okay. So that is the Christmas tag. I'm sorry it's a few days after Christmas, but you know, I figured I'd get it up before New Year's and it's all good. So since it is after Christmas, I'm not going to tag anyone specifically, so if there is anybody watching who has a YouTube channel and you'd like to do this tag still before the year is over, feel free. I would love to see your video, and if you do it, don't forget to link it in the comments below because I would love to see your answers. Thank you to Jessica for tagging me, and I'll have her channel linked down below. She has some pretty fantastic stuff on her channel talking about her debt-free journey and all sorts of DIY crafts, and eating a very similar diet to what we eat, and she even sways a little more paleo. So lots of good stuff on her channel. Be sure to go check her out. And that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.